basically would be having to look at another police department or another community or some other options. The police chief did contact this office and said that Officer Conklin was an outstanding patrol officer, and then was there a possibility, the chief is aware of the decision back in 1989 about rehiring, was there a possibility that the Board of Selectmen, this Board of Selectmen, would make an exception, realizing full well that this is a really unusual set of circumstances. Not only is he a fine officer, but we're also short a full positions, patrol officers within the department now, and we're trying to cover those positions through the use of overtime, which has a financial impact. So the chief is asking whether or not this board would consider the rehiring of Officer Conklin back to the Milton Police Department to patrol officer, also realizing that he'd be foregoing his seniority, the 5 years he had prior, and some other contingencies that would have to be worked out. If the board does decide to do this, the chief would ask that the new starting date be this Saturday. And again, contingent on working out the other details of the employment. I can answer any questions the board may have.
Well, I recognize that this policy has been in place since 1989, but I'd just like to put out there that since 1989, and they were probably thinking the right way back in 1989 when the selectmen put this policy into place of no rehire. But I just, this individual, Officer Conklin, has been with us 5 years. In that time, he's a Marine veteran. In that time, he's taken 2 sick days in 5 years. And I think that speaks to his work ethic and his dedication to the job. If we were to rehire Officer Conklin under the conditions that the town administrator just outlined, we would not be paying for a new hire to go to the academy. We would not have any training or kind of break-in costs, of a new hire. He'd know everything there is to know, having 5 years' experience about the department. He's only been gone a couple of weeks. And so, I think if there is an exception to any rule, this is it. And I would recommend, and I would be voting to rehire Officer Conklin, because I think that 5 years with 2 sick days tells me that he's earned the right for us to reconsider him.
Yeah,
circumstances.
I agree, John. I think it is an extraordinary circumstance. We're down, because my understanding is we would have lost 3 people to the state police, three officers. We were already down 2 before that, which we just hired 2 people for that position, but it's going to be probably a year before those are filled, unless we find people from other departments to hire new is also a year. And I think we're dangerously low on our police force, and you can only do overtime for so long before it starts having not only a financial impact, but an impact on morale and everything else. So I agree with you. I think they are extraordinary circumstances, and he does look like a fine officer.
We're unanimous in our agreement here again this evening.
My goodness gracious.
I feel strongly, particularly it hits a personal chord with me when we're talking about somebody that's worked for 5 years and it's only missed a couple of days. I'm someone that's big into that. The last school I was at, the Timothy School in Boston, I worked there for 17 years, and I never took a sick day. And when my wife was pregnant, shortly before her delivery, I had to check to find out how you call in sick, because I didn't know. And so I had to go research that. So I found that out, and then I lucked out and kept my record alive, because my daughter was born at 11/12, PM on a Sunday night, and
There you
I
go.
was in school the next morning, and people thought I was crazy. So, yeah, I'm real impressed with his attendance record. I do think that we need to keep this policy in place, that we can't have employees thinking, well, you know, I can try someplace else, and if I don't like it, I can come back. But so I like the 1989 no rehire policy,
Look
but
at
we
it
need to
first.
have some flexibility. We're talking about an outstanding officer who made a decision and then reversed his decision, the request. It's only a matter of a small window between the time he resigned and the time he said he wanted to be rehired. So I think we got to say welcome back to him.
I agree
Yeah.
with you completely.
With that said, I will make a motion to approve the rehiring of Officer Jason Conklin under the stipulations set forth before, that his seniority is back to 0, and the other items to be worked out.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.